And welcome back to Japan Game Junk. This episode going to go over a hard-off store visited in Moka City of Tochigi Prefecture, somewhat near Utsunomiya City. And even though it's Moka City, it is the Chinese characters are Maoka. So anyway, pronounced Moka. But Mocha is not the coffee flavor, but anyway, going into the stuff that I had found on this day at this store, there was quite a bit that was of note that I wanted to quickly go over. First, one that if they offered a warranty, I would have bought it, but an MSX2 system from Panasonic, only the system. It says that they could not confirm whether it works. I'm not sure what kind of AC adapter it might use, but it was just listed as not working. Or it wasn't listed as unconfirmed to work. And it's an MSX2. It looked like it was in good colors, kind of black and orange. It was... I was so tempted. But 8,000 yen without a guarantee, which means that I could buy it, I could take it home, try it. If it would not work, I'd be out. And it's not quite so wonderful enough where I'd want to pay this much just for a display piece. So I did pass up this, but maybe someone out there who's close to Mocha will want to give it a good home. Also, for 25,000 yen, a PC Engine Duo R. This is the not in box, but otherwise fairly complete. It says it could do the games, both the card and the CD-ROM. And yeah, it was... it's one that if it worked perfectly, I'd want to have it. But it said the screen has a little bit of fuzziness to it. I don't know if that's the output or if it's like the graphics, the cable port or whatever. But again, not something to risk so much for 25,000 yen. Even though I already, and also in addition, I do have my own working PC Engine CD-ROM anyway. But still, it was a tempting thing to look at there. They also had for the American Super Nintendo system cartridges, including the little plastic thing you put on the cartridges there. RoboCop vs. Terminator was 5,500 yen, but Michael Jordan Chaos in the Windy City action basketball game was only 1,500 yen, so that's that. One of the original Xbox Ones, the big clunky type, not the X or S or whatever. But the one that is I believe this is the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare Edition. So it has the silver finish to it, and it has the logos from that game on there. It does have some scratches and scuffs on the system, but otherwise it is confirmed as working. And it was 9,800 yen. So if you don't have an Xbox One, that's kind of maybe for a working one, maybe one of the cheapest ones I've seen in the country so far. So, and it's the weird, strange... Call of Duty model. They did have an Xbox Elite controller, typically even used, going for more than 10,000 yen here, for only 3,000 yen. However, the analog stick did not respond. Very, very sad. Other buttons were confirmed, but you kind of need an analog stick, Now, if I only had a wanting to play things with the D-pad, like on a retro games or whatever on my computer, as of course Xbox games can be a PC game as well, PC user as well, then I might have had some interest in the Elite features. But of course the Elite features, all the extra knobs and doohickeys and stuff, don't really work for PC. You don't really have the Xbox there to tune up the controller, so kind of worthless. But hey, if you just want to have one, it's 3,000 yen. For 100 yen, I got Rabu Rabu Relations, some sort of adult DVD-ROM game for your computer, for Windows, about lesbians. It's a sexually explicit game. Got it for 100 yen. It was actually new and sealed because it's for the Windows XP era. I'll give it a try, see if it works, and maybe it's all, sexual and interesting. They also had for 3,000 yen a monster trophy from Monster Hunter. It's like a huge figure, like a huge box, one of the bigger figures you can find. Still in box, unused. It looks like it was what do you call it? a lottery win. So in stores, they have what's called the Ichiban Kuji, which is the #1 lottery. And you pay a certain amount, between 5 and 800 yen usually, and you take a ticket, and there's prize A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. And, the very lowest ones might be a pack of stickers or a small towel, and very much not worth the money you spent. But the A, B, C prizes will be very good, and this was an A prize for a version of Monster Hunter in the past. They had the incredible Crash Dummies for Super Famicom for 2,800 yen, cartridge only. They had Double Dragon for the Neo Geo CD for 5,000 yen. A very, very good price, but it said there were some small scratches on the disc. I was tempted to get this one, but on the day I decided against it. Maybe in the future, as I doubt there are so many. Sorry for the yawn. I doubt there are so many Neo Geo CD owners in the Moka area. For 4,000 yen for the original PlayStation, the Konami Antiques Disc MSX Collection, which is many MSX games from Konami. This was Volume 3, disc and insert only, no manual, 4,000 yen. For 2,500 yen, there was the Sega Saturn Video CD and Photo CD cartridge, which does not plug in the cartridge port on the top, but rather the expansion port on the back. And that lets your Sega Saturn play video and photo CDs. That was only 2,500 yen. It's actually a pretty good price. Should have gotten it. 2,800 yen for the Switch 60-in-1 minigame collection. Hadn't heard of it, just thought I'd point that out. For only 1,000 yen for the PC Engine, the very thick with the extra data included, Street Fighter 2 Dash, the basically Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition for the PC Engine, which is a great conversion. Unbelievable how well they got that game to work on the 8-bit hardware, just for 1,000 yen. It's not too rare, but there you go. Sorry for the cough. Wow. That was a weird feeling, a weird sensation to bring out the cough. Very cheap, though, was the Game Boy Advance movie card, which is a thing where you plug in these little chips that have like these memory cards that are oversized. And they look... Sorry again for another yawn. Wow, yawn, cough, yawn. Sounds like an Asian person's name. But yeah, you have these little... They look like the old Fuji... What is it? The XD cards, memory cards. But they have episodes of animation on them, like Pokemon. And so the adapter for your Game Boy Advance was 2,500 yen. That itself is not so cheap. I've seen it for about half that price, a little over half that price before. But the cards themselves were 2,000 yen or 1,200 yen. And those are actually getting pretty pricey, so that's a pretty good price for the media, although not for the hardware. This is a game that's been there for over 3 years. Every time I've gone, I've found it there. Gigantosaurus, the game for the Xbox One, 1,200 yen. No one's ever bought it. And I think that should be it. But anyway, thanks so much for your wonderful, impressive listening ability. You've heard up until this point, so I'm very, very happy about that. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And remember, you should always play lots of video games because they are fun. Thank you. Goodbye.